Hi, this is Anna from the Inspire Studio, and I'm going to talk about sprouting in this video. I am a huge believer in eating live foods and eating particularly high water content foods from plant sources often and regularly to support good health. Sprouting is an easy and fun way to get huge benefits from eating live food, and it supports a yogic lifestyle, also supporting immunity and healing as well. Most cruciferous vegetables have compounds called glucosinolates, which are highly beneficial to the body. Broccoli sprouts in particular can have up to 100 times more glucosinolates than most cruciferous vegetables. It's an insane amount. And the ones that they contain, called sulforaphanes, are one of the most especially potent antioxidants that there are. So there's evidence to suggest that sulforaphane can prevent DNA damage that leads to cancer, and there have been studies on mice showing that sulforaphane seems to prevent inflammation that can lead to neurodegenerative diseases. That's a tough one, like Alzheimer's and Huntington's disease. It's really interesting stuff, and it certainly falls in line with already accepted views on the cancer-fighting agents present in vegetables, but it's just a good food. It's easy for your body to digest, and it's alive. So the prana is high. Your body does the healing, and I'm not presenting this as any kind of cure, but rather as a practice that supports a yogic lifestyle and that possibly could have some additional benefits that bolster your immune system and fortify you against disease. And we could all use a boosted immune system right now, more than anything. So let's get started. Okay, so I ordered organic broccoli seeds online at Amazon along with 4 to 6 of these plastic strainer caps. Just Google strainer caps for sprouting. You'll need full-size mason jars to go with each one of these, and then I take around 2 tablespoons and put them in each mason jar, and I cover it with about a cup of water. It doesn't have to be exact, and just swish it around a bit before putting it in a dark cabinet overnight for at least 12 hours. So I'll usually start this at about 6 or 7 o'clock the night before, and then I'll throw it on into the cabinet. In the morning, I take them out, I give them a good rinse, and then from here on out, I'm gonna keep them on the countertop, caps down to allow them to drain completely. The caps are pretty cool in that they have these little wedges that allow them to freeze stand on a plate so that they can really drain well. But from here on out, you're gonna rinse and drain them twice a day. First thing when you wake up, and then just before you go to bed. And you can see that I'll roll the jar so that the seeds can get a lot of surface area as they stick to the sides. After several days as they grow, they'll stick less and less because you're gonna get real plants in there. So now these sprouts will have a faint sulfur smell to them, which is pungent, hence sulforaphane, but it shouldn't be overwhelming. And if it is, go ahead and throw it out and start over. I've done that before where it just knocked me over, and I'm not gonna eat that. So just keep an eye on that, and also make sure that they really need to drain well, as mold can build up in them if you are not aerating and draining them. So you can see how they progress really nicely, and they start sprouting as early as day 2, and by 6 to 7 they are filling up the whole jar. So leaving them going for up to 8 days, I've heard 8-9 days, but I find that mine are pretty awesome by day 7 or so. So when you're ready to eat them, just take them out, rinse them out well. Some people like to remove the seeds by floating them in a large bowl of water, but I don't usually bother with that. I don't think eating a few bitters really hurts anyone, and I don't really notice the taste. So I keep mine 2 ways, by laying them flat I store them in 2 ways, by laying them flat in gallon freezer bags, and I just freeze them, and they just lay like sheets in my freezer. And this works great because all I have to do is just open it up and break off a corner of it and throw it into my shake. Or I can store them fresh in a Pyrex container for quick grabs. And I absolutely love to eat them on sandwiches, in salads, in the health shake that I make, or just a quick pinch with sea salt, like a grab and go. So good for you. Now, just as a final note, there are a couple of different camps when it comes to sulforaphanes. For instance, people who are really huge proponents of the carnivore diet, they're going to think that having cruciferous vegetables is the worst thing on earth for you. And in yogic thinking, which is what I stick pretty close to, foods like garlic, having garlic every day. Well, garlic's considered a very medicinal food, so it's not something that you want to be consuming in large amounts constantly, because you want the body to kick in and do its own thing without a whole lot of pushing from one source or another. So proceed with your own body and mind. I believe sprouts can be highly medicinal, and so with that in mind, think about how often you might want to start trying to incorporate them into your diet. I usually go for small amounts a few times a week, and I do notice a boost in my energy when I include the sprouts, but I also haven't gone crazy and had just sprouts all day long every day, because I do believe they have a powerful medicinal component, and I'm trying to build homeostasis and balance. So as always, the end game here is living joyfully and fully, and your body is simply a vehicle for that. Take your body where it is for you and for what your needs are, and take good care of it while you're in it. And think about giving it foods that simply create the least resistance to health. So enjoy, and feel free to post any of your comments or questions below. Hit the like and subscribe on YouTube if you'd like to get more videos like this one.